Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. Another 2,500 point battle, a little Carnival of Chaos prep. This is battle report number 210, and it is me, Lord Tremendous of the Undead Legion, versus my nemesis, Death Holy Death, also of the Undead Legion. This is just us practicing for the Carnival of Chaos. We both like to place higher than dead last, so we're gonna practice a little bit. And we still might end up dead last, but damn it, we're at least trying. But this is just another game of us trying out our lists. Mine has changed a bit, actually, so I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And yeah, it's actually a pretty close game, so by all means, sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and it's more of the same, but there are some definite changes. I still have my Vampire Lord, because I loves him. Lord Tremendous, he's a level 4 wizard with heavy armor, he's on an Abyssal Terror, he's got a Sword of Might, Enchanted Shield, Talisman of Preservation, Other Trickster Shard, Quick Blood, Red Fury, and the Lore of Vampires. My hero choices are my Lich Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who's still a level 2 wizard with the Dispel Scroll and the Lore of Light. And here's where the changes come in. I now have a White King, Dark Vincent, who's on a Skeletal Steed. He's got a shield, he's got the Sword of Strife, which gives him +2 attacks, and he's got the Dragon Helm. So basically, this guy has like a 1-up, 2-up armor save. He's got 5 attacks, all with Killing Blow. I know they're only at Strength 4. I'm still debating on this one. Do I give him, the Ogre Blade for Strength 6 all the time, but only 3 attacks? Or do I give him 5 attacks, all with potential Killing Blow? I really like this unit. Obviously, he goes in with the Black Knights. But what I like about this guy is the idea that he can have that much Killing Blow just added to this unit that's already got Killing Blow. So I put him in the brick of the Knights because I really like the Knights, but I wanted them to have a little bit more punch. They're all Strength 6 on the charge, except for, of course, my White King, who would be, Strength 4 constant. But with 5 attacks, that's 2 more dice I'm throwing at potential Killing Blows. So characters and whatnot, especially Great Weapon Totem, Mother Others, it's an idea. It's an idea, and it's something I don't believe people would really be expecting. So that's why I have him in there. I'm excited to try it out. This is the first game I get to try it out. Death Holy Death, awesome, the king of Killing Blows. So I'm looking forward to this one. And then I threw another caster in my list, a Necromancer, Sinister Jeffrey, who's a level 1 wizard with the Iron Curse icon and the Lore of Vampires. I like my zombies, I really, really do. And I realized I really like Queen Elizabeth with the Lore of Light, Shem's Burning Gaze, and basically almost every Lore of Light with this section of Light of Battle or something like that. Ugh. But I like the Lore of Light on Queen Elizabeth, so that's not going to change. But I did realize that I needed something in my back ranks, my slower part of my army, to help resurrect models, especially the zombies that can, just keep growing and growing. So I threw a third caster in, simple level 1 with the Lore of Vampires, because he's only going to take Invocation and a Heck. And the job of this guy is to just raise zombies, raise up, whatever is around him. If I got a 6 dice, so be it. If he sucks up a bunch of zombies himself and then a warp, who cares? It's just the idea. I know he's only level 1, and he's got the Iron Curse icon because I had 5 points in the end, and I was like, screw it, I'll give the zombies a tiny bit of defense. I thought it would be funny. But yes, as you can see, I have dropped my Prince and my Necrotech, and so you can basically assume that, yes, I have dropped my Skeleton Warriors because I wanted to try something else. Here is my core choices. Speaking of that, I still have my 5 Skeleton Horseman Archers with a banner. My zombies have increased to 49 zombies, still with a banner Musician. And then I have 6 Chariots now, Rolling Bones, with full command and the banner of Swiftness. And I did this because these guys are, Strength 5 impact hits if, all 6 are, still alive when they charge into combat, so that's kind of cool. So 3d6 strength 5 impact hits, before anything is thrown. That can be devastating to many, many things. And I gave him the banner of Swiftness to make a movement 9 because God knows how much I hate it when my chariots fail a charge. I mean, I could make an entire rant just bitching about how much I hate it when my chariots miss a charge. So I gave him the banner of Swiftness to negate that as much as I could. Also, I have 13 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard, with full command. I dropped the light armor on them because I couldn't afford it anymore. My special choices are 9 Black Knights with Lances, Barding, Banner Musician, and a Banner of Eternal Flame. And I still have the Flaming Banner on these guys simply because I like the idea of them negating regen and stuff like that. Although, now that I have the Chariots in the list again, if I keep the Chariots, I'm toying with swapping the banners around, putting the Eternal Flame banner back on the Chariots, and giving the Black Knights the Standard of Swiftness. Debating. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. Then, of course, I still have my 3 Stalkers, the Medusa Stalkers, because I can't say Sephiroth or whatever it is. These guys have been pissing me off lately. There's no hiding that, but I really like them, so they're going to get a pass, and they're still in the list. And then, of course, I have my 3 Morghast Harbingers because they're the heat. And then, of course, my rare choice is my Casket of Souls. Here's, well, Death Only Death's list, which I don't get because yeah, if you want to play him and see what his list is, then, you could watch these and probably piece it together yourself, or you could meet him in person at the GT. He's much cooler live. You should see him live. He's much better live. But, yeah, I don't have his list and don't expect it for the GT. This is probably just not going to happen. Here are my spells, which are what you're looking at, with the exception of the Vampire level 1, who's got Lore of, or I'm sorry, Invocation and a Hex. So I have it twice, so ha! And here's Death spells, which are pretty much what you're looking at. Here's Deployment, and for the most part, it was Death Holy Death. I knew he was coming to me. We've done this song and dance multiple times, so I know he's coming to me. He knows I'm hanging back a little bit, and my plan here was to use that. We were using the ruined house in the middle of the board there as impassable terrain, so I was going to move my Black Knights basically an inch away from it, so they could see past it and hopefully charge through it because they have that special rule, and most people forget about it, and I was kind of hoping that Death would. My Vampire is behind the house a little bit so that his Terrorgeist couldn't run up and scream him off the table immediately or anything like that. And he's also over there to help everything around their march that can, just in case, I need to or want to. And it just seemed like the best spot to put him. There's my unit of zombies in the middle there, daring something to come hang out. My Chariots are also in the middle. Number one, they can't march, so they don't really benefit being within 12 inches of the Vampire. But I wanted them in combat with anything. I wanted to see what they could do. And then, of course, my Morghast are on the right flank, just kind of holding it down. I know his dogs are going to go after my Casket, so I'm probably going to have to send the Morghast after them. Sucks a little bit, but I also would like to see them get in the combat with the Terrorgeist if it gets too close. So they're over there because they're a pretty big threat. And then, of course, my Scouts are on the right flank there to take out his dogs before they can get to my Casket, hopefully. But that was the plan. That's why I deployed like this. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of his Mortis Engine, a unit of zombies. In the back there is a bigger unit of zombies, I believe with a level 4 Lore of Lightcaster installed, Lich Priest, High Lich Priest. And in front of them are some Cryptors. And here's his center, which consists of a unit of Skeleton Warriors, a huge brick of them, with 2 little vampires, a Ghoul King, and a Tomb Prince installed. Behind them is a Casket of Souls. Next to that is his Terrorgeist. In front of them is another unit of zombies. And then, of course, on the right side, it's kind of hard to see, is his Direwolves. And here's his left flank, which I am encroaching on with my Scouts. Here's my right flank, which consists of my Casket and my Morghasts. And here's my center, which consists of my Chariots, my my zombies with my level 1 Necromancer. And here's my left flank, which consists of my Knights with my Tomb King installed. As you can see, I now have all the Black Knight models, with the exception of the character, who is a strange-looking Chaos Knight-looking guy. Yeah, don't ask. There's my Archers with my level 2, and there's my Vampire on his Terror. Here's top of 1, and OMG, I got to go first. I was so excited. So I moved up. I put my plan into effect. My Knights went up next to the building. My Skeleton Archers moved up slightly. Zombies stayed where they were. Chariots stayed where they were. Everything pretty much stayed where it was, except for the Scouts, who moved slightly to better shoot at the dogs for a while. In the magic phase, because it was the only unit in range, I get Curse of Years off on the zombies, and I kill like 4, which was pretty cool. I'll take that. And now the spell is out there, so if he wants to get rid of it, he's got to burn power dice to do it. So I was kind of looking forward to that. That was kind of neat. Quickly becoming a big fan of this spell, provided it's not casted on me. So this was nice to get off early. Nothing happens in shooting worth mentioning, so we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement. And he does, he moves. His dogs turn to face the scouts because, well, the dogs can take the scouts in combat because that's just the way life is. His army moves up slightly, just kind of bouncing around a little bit, and that's really about it. There's nothing really significant in the movement phase. During the magic phase, his Lower Light caster just gets the low level 4, strength 4, gaze and the gash off on my vampire. I'm more worried about his other spells, so I let him get it off, and he does 1 wound to my terror, which is fine. I can heal that. That's not a big deal. And by let it go, I mean he got it irresistible force. He only rolled he rolled a 7 for the miscast though, so. Which, yeah, it ends up killing like 3 zombies, but if we could care any less, then nothing would have been picked up because, yeah, they're zombies. Who cares? But yeah, that's how that one goes. It does pretty much end his magic phase, which is kind of nice. And now that his magic phase is over, I kill another 5 or 6 of his zombies with Curse of Years because he just didn't care. He was like, "They're zombies. I don't care. Have fun. Enjoy the 30 points you're gonna get." And I was like, "I will." So yeah, another 5 or so die, and I do enjoy it though. Even though they're zombies, I like it. So with that said and done, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and I move up a little bit more. As you can see, I'm doing my horseshoe maneuver here, where everything's kind of built up around the bottleneck, begging something to come into the ring of fire. And that's really it. I back my Vampire Lord up a little bit because I don't want to be screamed at, and there's really nothing worth charging yet. So that's what I do. I move over here and I get ready to counter his moves. It's a real song and dance playing against death. Also, my scouts move back to the corner there so that the dogs have a harder time charging. I can still shoot at him, but he has trouble, charging me by like an inch or 2. Sometimes that's all that counts. Who knows? During the magic phase, I throw 5 dice at the big Shem's Burning Gaze at his Mortis engine, and I blow it up, which is just outstanding. Boom! There it is right there. Some more zombies die, and nothing happens to his terror. I'm not able to wound it, but his Mortis engine is dead, and that's huge. Nothing else worth of note really happens during my magic phase, so we do Curse of Years, and a bunch of the zombies die. They're almost dead. They should be gone next turn with a little luck. During the shooting phase, my scouts finally hit something beefy and kill a dog, so feeling pretty good about that. And with nothing else to report, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement, and there's still not a ton. My snakes did come up last turn to Care Bear stare at the casket, and they weren't able to do anything. They took a wound because of a misfire, and then I had like 18 dice, and I didn't roll 1/6, which eats at my soul. Didn't get 1 wound through. It was actually very ridiculous. Not their fault. I rolled like poop. Could have killed the casket. Would have been glorious, but I didn't. So what can you do? So his Terrorgeist runs over to finish off the snakes, and so be it. Other than that, the rest of his army holds back a little bit, with the exception of the dogs, who start making a move towards my casket, which is a little offensive, I won't lie. During the magic phase, he's able to get the big Shem's Burning Gaze off. He 6 dices it at my general and almost kills my general. Kills off the terror and puts 2 wounds on my Vampire Lord. That hurt. However, it was irresistible force, and he rolls a miscast 5 this time. Which is outstanding because his little level 4 takes a wound, and a bunch of his zombies die. Which, again, it's not ideal. It would have been better if it was a 2, a 4, a 10, or 12, but I'll take it. And now he's got lesser zombies on the table, which is nice. Also, during the magic phase, during the shooting phase, his terror screams at my snakes, kills 2 of them, and puts 2 wounds on the last one. It's almost dead. So, yeah, I don't think the snakes are really going to do anything this game. With my heart heavy, we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and my Morghasts dare the dogs to come at him. Because, yeah, they got to protect my casket. The rest of my army moves up slightly, and I believe my Black Knights try to charge his ghouls. and I fail. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I needed like a 9 in order to hit him, and I rolled like a 6, which is really discouraging. Other than that, the rest of my army just kind of moves around because I want to get a hold of these guys now, and I want to fight them. So that's kind of all I was doing here. There's a better picture of my Black Knights failing a charge against the ghouls. And at this point, Death Holy Death was like, there's impassable terrain in the way. And I was like, yeah, skeletal steeds. And he's like, oh, I always forget about that. So it's a viable tactic. Even Death Holy Death forgot that they could do that. So had this actually made it, that would have been awesome. Since they didn't, now the cat's out of the bag. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. What can you do? During the magic phase, I get invocation to heck off with my vampire lord, and I heal one of his wounds, and I don't really do anything else with it. I'm just trying to mend this guy back together before he dies horribly. Nothing else of note really happens during the magic phase, so we go into shooting, and my scouts plink off another dog, which is good. And then my snake, my one remaining snake, Care Bear, stares at the casket. I roll him his cast, and even if he rolls a 1, doesn't matter. He only had 1 wound left, and he kills himself. He looked at the mirror for some reason. I don't know. Damn snakes. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and there's a little bit. His dogs move up, daring my Morghast to charge, so you know I have to now. His ghouls come up so that my knights can't charge them because I can't end their movement in the impassable terrain, which sucks. And yeah, the rest of his army moves up casually, like he doesn't have a care in the world. During the magic phase, just in case he was wrong about the angle, he gets speed of light off on his crypt horrors, which means my knights would have a real problem with these guys. So, debating. And with nothing else going on, we go over here to top of 4 after movement, and you're looking at it. My chariots, I just got froggy, and I was like, screw it, I need to see what my chariots can do. And so I charged them into the flank of the crypt horrors. With the movement 9, they made it no problem, which was great. I know it's a bad idea. I know that there's a huge brick of character-laden skeleton warriors in my flank. I know there's zombies in the flank. I get that. I was curious. This game was going nowhere fast, and I needed to see what they could do. I needed to test out this unit to see if it was worth it or not. So I charged them in, and they made it, and I'm happy. Also, my what's it called? Morghast. Excuse me. My Morghast charge into the dogs because they need to die before they can move on and do something else. And my scouts move up to just kind of plink away at the casket and the terrorgeist, whichever's in range. Other than that, the rest of my army just kind of hangs back because they're zombies and they're stuck Black Knights that don't really have a charge anymore because I failed my surprise charge, which really sucks. There's a better picture of my chariot slamming into the flank of the crypt horrors, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen there. During the magic phase, I get another big Shem's Burning Gaze off, not irresistible, into his Terrorgeist, and I do exactly 6 wounds to it and destroy it. So me and Shem's Burning Gaze are very good friends. With nothing else really worth noting in the magic phase, we go into combat, and wow, the chariots did amazing. After combat, res and everything like that, he has 1 crypt horror left with a wound on it. Yeah. Had I had the banner of flame on these guys, those crypt horrors would have been obliterated. Rolling average too. It was not like I rolled out of the box. I was very pleased. My opponent did roll low for his regen saves. But yeah, had he failed 2 more regen saves, this whole unit would be destroyed. Oh, wow. Actually, 1 more because of combat res. So, yeah, very pleased with this unit. Its first little battle. I know they're dead. I know zombies and skeleton wars are going to be in their flank next turn. I'm well aware, but it was a good test. It was very cool to see, and yeah, I have no regrets, not 1 letter. So, with that said, we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and like I said, his Skeleton Warriors with all of his characters charge into the chariots. They make it no problem. His zombies decide not to go in, so that's that. And the rest of his army just kind of hangs back. Last turn in combat, we didn't get a picture of it because he just picked up the dogs, but yeah, my Morghasts neutered the puppies, so shocking, I know. Other than that, you're looking at how it went. Nothing else really moved. There's a better picture of his skeleton warriors getting some revenge on my chariots, and yeah, I know. During his magic phase, I have to let it go. He gets raised dead off and puts zombies in between the Black Knights and their target, so now there's absolutely no way I can charge them or move them. Well played by my opponent. What can you do? And I forgot to take a picture of the combat phase. Just a lot was going on, and sometimes I'm forgetful. Suffice it to say, my chariots were obliterated and didn't do anything in return. It was horrendous. His characters and skeleton warriors were just, with combat res, able to obliterate all 6 chariots, which was really, really sad. But what can you do? What can you do? I knew it was coming. So here we go. Here's top of 5 after movement, and as you can see, it is chariotless on the field, which is sad. I did move my harbingers up just in case something wanted to give me a nice juicy flank, and other than that, I don't really have any smart moves to make, so I'm just hanging back. During the magic phase, I get Curse of Years off on his skeleton warriors, and I take out like 8 or 10 of them with needing 6s, which was pretty good. And I put a wound on his tomb prints, so that was kind of nice. I won't lie about that. I was quite pleased about that outcome. And then I Shem's Burning Gaze his Crypt Horrors, just a simple one, the low level one, just to get that last wound through, and the final ghoul is no more, so I got the points for the unit. And again, Shem's Burning Gaze, that's a hell of a spell. With nothing happening in shooting or combat worth noting, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and there's a little bit. He kind of puts his zombies out there for my crypt or for my Morghast to toy with the idea of charging them. I thought about it, I did, but at the same time, I thought that would be a terrible idea because his skeleton warriors would just countercharge and obliterate my Morghast, which would be bad. Other than that, nothing else really moves. His skeleton warriors move up slightly, his zombie unit in the back moves up slightly, and that's really about it. During the magic phase, his casket hits my casket and does a wound to it. No, the piece did not fall off because of the spell. Somebody accidentally knocked it off the table. Complete accident, not a big deal. It broke at the mold line, so yeah, I can glue it back together. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that wound happened and then it was already broke, so I thought that was kind of cool. With nothing else really to talk about, we go over here to top 6, and I debate. Oh yeah, during his magic phase, he did stop Curse of Years on his skeleton wars. He was able to get rid of it. So during top of 6 here, I toyed with the idea of charging the zombies with my Morghast because I could use the points, but in the end, I just thought it would be a terrible idea, so I didn't. I changed my mind. And that was really it. I toyed with sending my Black Knights into the Skeleton Warriors, but I couldn't get that angle into them without going through the zombie unit, and I don't think Skeletal Steeds can run through enemy units. Not 100% on that one. I think that's only a, what is it called? A Hex Ray thing, and that's only during remaining moves. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I'm pretty sure we played that right. Other than that, though, nothing else really happened. I just didn't have any smart moves to make, and I didn't want to. I wasn't sure if I was going to lose this game or not because it was really close, so I wanted to hang back. I didn't want to give him any extra points. During my magic phase, my casket goes off. It puts 2 wounds on his casket, almost killing it, and it takes out a handful of zombies, which I thought was just kind of funny. Nothing else happens. My archers, or I'm sorry, my scouts fire at the casket, and I do 1 wound to the casket, which would have blown it up. He has a 6-up armor save, though, and he made it, which drove me crazy. So that sucked. That right there, I thought could have won me the game if I had blown up his damn casket, but it wasn't meant to be, so what can you do? So we go over here to bottom of 6, and his zombies with his level 4 turn to face the scouts because they're easy target. I did get Curse of Years off on his Skeleton Warriors again last turn, and I killed a handful. Did another wound. I did a wound to his Ghoul King or something like that, which was kind of cool. And other than that, nothing else happened. So yeah, in his movement phase, other than his zombies moving, nothing else happens. During his magic phase, he banishes my skeleton archers, or not my archers, my scouts, my horseman archers. Yeah, 3d6, 3 or 4d6, whatever it was, strength 4 hits was more than enough to take this unit out, and they're just completely obliterated. And then his casket goes off and takes out my casket, and it's sad. So, yeah. There it is. Nothing else happened, so there's the end of the game. And as you can see, it was close. It was very, very close. We each lost some big units and some small units, and in the end, though, nothing really huge occurred. Little disappointing. A lot of almosts in this game, a lot of almosts. But what can you do? What can you do? This was definitely a good game. We were very cautious against each other because we know what our armies can do. And yeah, that was something else. So you know what? We'll get to the recap in a minute though, because right now this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Hey guys, you know these tokens, you've seen them 100 times, and you know what? Every time you see them, if you haven't bought them yet, you're just wasting time. Get these tokens. All of the lords of whatever spell you're casting, all the wound counters. You see me use them in every single game, and you've never heard me since I've been using the counters going, I can't remember how many wounds I had, or what spell was on this guy, or whatever. And they're flawless. They're awesome. You're the envy of everyone you play against. Send Token Gal an email. Get these tokens. They're dirt cheap, but they're solid gold quality, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot go wrong. A lot of people have already ordered them, and nobody's returned any. Nobody's even asked to return any. All they do is they order more. Get yours. Get them soon. You're wasting time, and these are totally worth it. Tell her Tremendous sent you. Hey guys, I got another great deal for you. Movement trays. We all use them. We all need them. If you're watching this report, you have some or you need some. And do I have the vendor for you? This guy makes solid metal movement trays. I mean, cuts them to your specifications using a galvanized metal. It's not that cheap, thin, weak aluminum. This stuff is sturdy. I'm using them. I used them all throughout this game. Take a look at the pictures. They're all in there. I love these trays. They're metal, so they auto-magnetize. Well, provided you put magnets on your guys. And he does them dirt cheap, guys. I'm telling you. He's got an eBay page. There's an email on here. Get a hold of this guy. Get yourself some movement trays and get yourself organized. You're going to be thrilled. You can paint them. You can do everything. These things are awesome. My local game store guy is literally in contact with this guy so that he can become a vendor. That's how high quality these things are. So I'm telling you guys, give this guy an email. Check out his eBay page. Get yourself some movement trays and stop playing like a Neanderthal. Tell him Tremendous sent you. You won't regret it. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but we got a few new pictures. So not only does Unleashed Wargaming paint amazing models for commission and stuff like that, send him an email. He does excellent work, as you've seen from the pictures. Not only does he do all the different Magic lore cards for Warhammer Fantasy, I mean every lore. You want Storms of Magic? Send him an email. You want Lore of Fire? Send him an email. You want every lore that's ever been out in 8th edition? Send him an email. These things are solid. They're laminated. They're on cardstock. They're Photoshop made. They're amazing. And they're good. They're well priced, guys. I'm telling you. And now he's also doing 40K cards, the psychic stuff or whatever. I don't play 40K, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it if you don't get these cards and if you don't have your models painted by them. Just throwing it out there. Just, you may, if you feel guilty, that's because you know you're wrong. But send this guy an email, get your models looking good, get the cards that you need, get your real game going, and tell him Tremendous sent you. You're not going to regret it. That's right. You knew this was coming eventually. In conjunction with Unleashed Wargaming and Lonehammer, we have opened an online store with hats, shirts, and I think that's it for right now. Maybe dice and stuff like that later on, as well as other gear. Maybe dice cups, whatever. We'll think of something. But we're doing a trial thing. For the next month and a half or so, we're gonna have this online store. The website is here. It'll be in the description of the page and everything like that. But yeah, if you want a T-shirt, if you want a hat, if you want to wear paraphernalia, by all means, head over to this store, check it out, get yourself some Lord Tremendous gear. God knows I have. and and yeah, this is your chance. If you like Lone Hammer, if you like Unleashed Wargaming, if you like Lord Tremendous, you can get this stuff. And if you don't like us, you can get it and you can set it on fire and send it to us as a threat. It's awesome. But yeah, go to the website. It'll be here. It's on this channel obviously, or on the description, and get yourself some gear. We're gonna try it out for a month and see how it goes, and if it keeps up, then we'll keep adding to it, and if not, well, we'll pretend like we never did it. But yeah, guys, by all means, and if there's anything you want to see on the store or anything like that, throw it in the comments section, and if we like it, we'll make it happen.
You'll find more cheer in a graveyard.
So in the end, after totaling up the points, it was a draw for Lord Tremendous. I ended up getting 743 points out of him, and he got 770 points out of me for a difference of 27 points. Yeah, we totaled it up a couple of times just to make sure we weren't wrong. And yeah, this was almost a perfect game. So yeah, definitely fun, definitely interesting. And yeah, we knew it was close. In the end, I ended up losing my casket, my scouts, my chariots, and my snakes. Death Holy Death ended up losing his Cryptors, his Mortis Engine, his Terrorgeist, his Direwolves, and 1 unit of zombies. Death making his last minute 6+ armor save for his casket stole the game from me. If he had failed that armor save, which he had a 1 in 5 chance of failing it, his casket would have blown up. He never would have gotten my casket, and I would have had that game in the bag. Unfortunately, that wasn't the way it was supposed to go, and he made it. So, thank you, Dice Gods. I know you're all mad at me for setting my chariots in like that, but I needed to know what they could do. I needed to know what they could do on a charge. I wanted to know what they could do against a solid enemy, especially with speed of light on it. I wanted to know. I needed to know if it was a good choice or not, because I gotta admit, I was kind of missing my skeleton warriors. But I was not disappointed, even though they got obliterated in the end, which I totally expected. If they were stuck there for another turn. I was impressed. That was a lot of damage that they did to the Crypt Horrors with a 5-up regen. And had that unit had the Banner of Eternal Flame on it, it would have been glorious. So, but then again, if they had the banner, Death Holy Death probably wouldn't have given me that flank with them either. So who knows? Who knows? But I must say, I'm very happy with that unit. I like the offensive capability of it, and they're going to stick around. Whether or not I put the Banner of Eternal Flame on them is debatable. I'm still toying with the idea. I don't know if I want to do that yet or not, because I really do like it on the Black Knights. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm still debating. Never got to try out my White King in combat, which is really disappointing. I was really hoping to see what he could do, but I was really hoping to get him in there with the Crypt Horrors. I know the Killing Blow wouldn't have helped any, but I was hoping, the flaming attacks with the unit anyway would, especially on the charge. That was my hope anyway. It could have blown up in my face and they could have gotten obliterated by the damn Crypt Horrors, but they're only really strength 4, I think. So with the 2-up armor save, which would come a 3-up, I think they could have held on there for a while. But then again, it could be wrong. What the hell do I know? It could have been obliterated in the first round. Who knows? But next turn, next game, I will keep him in the list and see if I like him or not. Looking forward to trying out the chariots a few more times, a few more games, see whether or not I decide I'm going to keep them in the list or not. But right now, it's looking good. And of course, Shem's Burning Gaze in this game, for both of us, was just a nightmare. Ended up taking out his engine, his terror guys, finishing off the ghouls. His spell took out my general almost completely. Basically took him out of the fight. He just hung out with the skeleton archers for the rest of the game because he was scared. So yeah, Shem's Burning Gaze and the Undead, yeah, that's brutal. I really like that spell a lot. But this was a damn good game, a damn close game, damn good opponent, and I can't believe we have a draw. Oh, that drives me nuts. There was nothing settled, so we must have a rematch soon. Oh, I hate no closure. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 210. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, Thanks!